Well, hello everyone. My name is Jonna Jeffco, and I am one of the instructors here at the Spiegel Academy. I'm really excited to be able to talk to you a little bit about the 4 top things that music therapists are asking as they are building their practice, as they're growing and really getting excited and going, oh gosh, there are all these clients coming in, and I'm not quite sure what to do about it. So I want to share a little bit about me because I hit that point a couple of years ago. I run Infinity Music Therapy Services based in Connecticut, and I started my practice in 2010, and it was this short term tiny thing. Like, I was running group homes at the same time, and so 87 hours a week I was at the group home working with my guys and doing music therapy just kind of on the side. It was, I'd get my guys off to work, go do a couple of cases, come home, take care of my guys as they were getting off of work. And on my days off, I would go and work with more clients. And I realized I wanted to do so much more than just be in the group home. I really wanted to do music therapy all the time. I loved watching the impact that music could make on somebody. And I was seeing these amazing things happen where I was having clients who they said would never walk, and there they are kicking their drums, and clients that would never talk again. And I was hearing first words come out of them. It was really this amazing process. So in August of 2012, I quit my full-time job and decided to take my practice on full-time. And then I hit this point right around December where I was going, oh boy, well, I really did hit the ground running. There are more clients than I can handle. I'm working 6 days a week. I'm only home to basically sleep. And I was hit with this point where it was, do I hire? I mean, I had somebody before that was helping out with my maternity leave. She still did a couple part-time things, but it really wasn't a team. She wasn't trying to grow with us because she had other dreams of her own. And I was forced with that decision of, do I really hire my first real employee? And so January of 2013, I did. I hired my first real employee, and she came on with this part-time caseload, and everything was great. She was going to help me build all these fantastic things. And then one client came in, and another client came in, and another client came in, and we were to the point where we were doing an assessment. It felt like almost every single week. And so my caseload was full, and her caseload was full, and in came employee number 2 in August of 2013. And that's kind of been the trajectory of my practice, where we have a pretty good sized team. We have 6 board certified music therapists on staff that are full-time. We have 1 that is part-time. We have an intern. We have administrative assistants, all kinds of things. And we are continuing to grow more and more and more. And so it's this process of, how do you know when it's time to expand? How do you know that you really do want to expand? How do you know if you need an independent contractor and an employee, part-time, full-time, salaried? The options there's so many things out there. And so today in this webinar, I want to talk to you about those top 4 things that music therapists start questioning and start asking when they hit that point that I was at, where there's so many clients coming in. And so the first thing, I want to look at is, how do you know if you need an employee or an independent contractor? Because they're very, very different things. And so the biggest question you want to ask yourself when you're at that point of bringing someone onto the team is how much control you want to have. Employees and independent contractors are very, very different in the eyes of the IRS. And so we really need to look on how you're going to be handling them and working with them, because that's going to dictate if you need an employee or an independent contractor. It's not the number of hours that you can offer. It really comes down to the level of control that you want to have. If you want to be able to provide supervision and training to somebody, if you want to be able to drop into their cases and say, hey, I've got this great idea. Have you tried X, Y, or Z? If you want to be able to work on their schedule or provide them instruments, you are probably looking for an employee. If in your head, the ideal world is to send somebody out there and be confident in their skill set and have them design their schedule and call their clients and basically just send you an invoice for the services that they are rendering, because you don't want that responsibility of supervising somebody, then odds are you're looking for an independent contractor. Now, in the world of taxes and pay, an employee and an independent contractor are very, very different things. They're very, very different. And so knowing exactly what you have in mind for your team is going to be essential in deciding what type of position you are going to market. If that is going to be for an employee, and again, full or part-time, or an independent contractor. Know how much control you want to have. So the second big thing that people tend to ask out in the music therapy world is, how soon should I post a position? Now this gets really, really tricky, right? We've heard stories of where employees are jumping on the bandwagon. Practices have no issue finding somebody to come on board for their practice. And then some of us have heard those horror stories where a position has been open for months and months and months, and that therapist is having a wait list or they're turning away clients. So where is that magic number? Where is that sweet spot? So typically, music therapy business owners, MTBOs, will recommend that you post your position with 3 to 6 months notice of you needing someone to come on board. Now, that may not always be possible if you have somebody on your team and you are looking to expand and that person then resigns and you need to fill a position in 2 weeks, you're obviously going to be posting a lot sooner than that. But in an ideal world, 3 to 6 months is the average. It's because it takes about 3 to 6 months in order to have people apply, go through their resumes, set up their interviews, be able to get their audition videos in, make that deciding fact, decide if you want them on your team, and then get them to you. We're a small field. My practice has had music therapists come from California, Texas, Florida, South Carolina, New Jersey, New York, and I'm in Connecticut. So we've had people literally come from the opposite side of the country. And so getting them to us takes time. It takes time to move yourself from across the country. And then you look at how long it'll take to train somebody. You may have them up and running in a week or two, or not at all. If you're having an independent contractor come on board, you can't offer them training. So they should be ready to roll basically from the time that they step foot on your premises. Or you may have a training period of 6 to 8 weeks or sometimes longer, depending upon the need for transitions between clients, teaching a new employee policies and procedures. And so again, that sweet spot is between 3 and 6 months in advance of knowing that you need to fill a position. And this is why it's really important to know your trends and how fast you're getting clientele in to be able to project out and know when you're going to need somebody. You also should know about how many music therapists are in your area. If you are in an area in the country where there's hundreds of music therapists because you've got 6 universities around you that are offering a degree in music therapy, you may be really quickly able to fill a position. But if you're in a situation where there's not many music therapists in your area, I believe like in Arkansas, I think there's 2 of them, they might have to wait a little longer to find an employee. Or like myself in Connecticut, we don't have any universities that offer the degree, which means no matter which way I slice it or dice it, unless somebody has just moved to the state for one reason or another, they're going to be moving from out of state in order to come and work for my practice. So 3 to 6 months is typically that sweet spot. All right. So our third biggest question that I see a lot of MTBOs posting, especially on Facebook, is where should I post a position? Okay, I've got this amazing position. It's got stellar benefits. It's got great pay. I mean, heck, I've got the greatest clients in the world, but I have no idea how to get the word out there. How do I get good and qualified candidates in my door so I can market to more clients and spread the word? Because I can't grow my practice if I can't fill the needs of the clients I already have. So where do I post a position? So this is the top places that you can post. On Facebook, I started a group called Music Therapy Jobs and Hiring. That is an excellent resource to be able to post your position. Please just make sure that you post city and state at the top of it so people can find what they're looking for within a quick glance. I'm also an admin for the Music Therapist Unite group on Facebook, and that's another great resource to access music therapists of, all different expertise, as well as some students and interns. And there's also a page on Facebook for music therapy new professionals and interns that you may be able to post positions to as well. On the AMTA page, there is a place to post job positions. You do not need to be an AMTA member to post a position. You just need to be an AMTA member to look for a position on the website. So go ahead and download that form. It is a little tricky. The more you type, the smaller the print gets. So typically what I do is I'll type something out in Word, and then I'll copy and paste into the document and be able to send that off to AMTA. The different regions of AMTA as well, oftentimes on their websites, they will have different listings for positions, and sometimes regions will have out of region postings as well. So if you're in a state, you may be able to post your position in another region. And a lot of those regional websites will also have corresponding Facebook pages to be able to post your position to really get the word out. Word of mouth is also really, really big. We're a tight-knit, close community, and it's wonderful. Everybody knows somebody somewhere, so don't hesitate to shoot off an email to your colleagues in different states and say, hey, I have a position open. Do you know of anybody who is looking? Email those universities, email those internship sites, and share away. I went to a conference, the national conference recently, and one of my good friends in California was talking to a friend of theirs in another state, and they happened to be moving off to Connecticut. And so they said, hey, talk to Jonna when you get there if you're looking for a position. So 3 different states involved in that, but it's that word of mouth so people know that you are around and that you're looking to expand. You can also post a position on Indeed.com. Now, just like as if you're posting on CareerBuilder or Monster.com, you may get people who are going to apply that are not music therapists. I've had people on Indeed.com, apply to work for me when they were a CNA, and it said right in the job description, must be a board certified music therapist. So expect to wade through some of those postings that are not from music therapists, but it is a good place to get the word out. And I've gotten plenty of applicants on there. And you can also search through resumes and contact people directly. And I've had somebody who's applied and worked for my company because I found their resume on Indeed.com. So I mentioned Career Builder and Monster already. Those do carry a price tag, unlike the other ones that I mentioned, in order to post a position, but that might be a resource for you to go through as well. LinkedIn, you can also post a position on, as well as connect with other music therapists and spread the word about a position. LinkedIn does carry a price tag, but sometimes it may be worth the price tag to post a position, especially if you're having difficulty finding somebody to bring on board for you. Okay, let's see. Finally, the one of the other big questions a lot of people are asking are, how much should I pay my employee? All right. Employees and independent contractors, again, do totally different things. So let's separate those out from the get-go. All right. Employees, you need to take into account what a livable wage is in your area of the country. You can go online and find out livable wage for somebody who's living by themselves and get a jumping off point. And you also want to stay within what's kind of normal. So talk to other people in your area about what the going rate for music therapy salaries are. And if there is nobody else, look for other music therapy business owners in a similar cost of living situation. So it might be somebody in a different state, but talk to them and see how much they're paying. So your employees need to be earning a livable wage, as do you. So take a look on what you will need to break even. And the best way I say to do this is calculate what your average client rate is per hour. And then figure out, based upon the salary that you want to offer, how many client contact hours they will need in order for you to break even in terms of their salary, their taxes, and their benefits if you're going to be offering any. For my employees, depending upon how much I'm paying them, because some have been with me a while and they've gotten a little higher rate of pay, it's usually between 11 and 14 clinical contact hours a week I know they need to handle in order for me to break even. And anything over that is profit for me. And after a while, because the overhead gets covered, it becomes even a bigger profit per employee. And I pay my employees incredibly well. I'm over what the regional average is. They get full benefits coming on. So there is a way to pay your employees what they are worth and offer benefits and treat them well, even as we are growing businesses. And I know we're not millionaires, but there's a way to do it. So that's employees, all right? Looking at livable wage, what you need to make, and calculating how many hours they need at the rate you're going to pay in order to break even. Independent contractors are a completely separate issue. Independent contractors, you do not offer them a rate of pay. I'm going to say that again because this is a really big misconception. You do not tell an independent contractor how much you are going to pay them. They tell you how much they want to be paid. Now, that's not to say they come in and they say they want to be paid $90 an hour. You're currently charging your client $75 an hour, and you go, oh, I'm going to be out $15 an hour to do this. No. If they come in at a certain rate, you can go through a contract negotiation and negotiate a rate of pay. But you need to remember, an independent contractor has the same relationship with you as you have with the facilities that you are contracting out with. When you walk into a nursing home, they don't tell you, hey, we can pay you $45 an hour. You walk in and you say, my rate for services is per hour. And they may come out and tell you, I'm sorry, that's not within our budget. And then you as a business owner can come out and negotiate with them, right? It's the same thing as having an independent contractor coming on and providing contractual work for your company. You ask them what they're looking for, and then you can negotiate it if it's higher than what you're looking for. But they should be coming in with their rate. By nature, independent contractors are business owners. All right. So I hope that helped out a little bit. I'm really excited to tell you about this course at the Spiegel Academy, because that stuff is the stuff that we're going to dig through and deeper. We're launching a course called Growing Your Music Therapy Practice, and we're really excited about it. It launches this month. It's going to be over 3 separate days, February 18th, March 4th, and March 18th, which are all Saturdays. They're going to be about 2 hours long, so 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 to 7 p.m. Central, 4 to 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And if you miss those, it's fine. They're all going to be recorded, and there's a self-study option where you don't really miss out on any of the benefits. By signing up for this course, not only are you going to get all the information on how to grow your practice from somebody that has been plugging away for, almost 7 years now. But you're also going to get a little bit of free coaching within that, because there are homework assignments that you complete, you send in, and get feedback right along the way. Now, this course is not going to be a replacement for talking to an attorney or an accountant, but it's going to be a jumping off point. So when you walk into your lawyer's office and say, I am ready to hire, you've got all your ducks in a row. You have your information laid out, and they are just putting, the finishing touches on, as opposed to you walking in and sitting for 6 hours and paying $300-$400 an hour to find out the ins and outs of what it means to just even have an employee versus an independent contractor. This course is jam-packed with information. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons of just expanding your practice and knowing when exactly it is time, which we talked a little bit about today in our webinar, but we're going to dig even deeper into that, all right? We're going to look at, again, employees versus independent contractors. We're going to talk about what the IRS says, and I'm not going to make stuff up for you. I'm going to pull directly from, the IRS's website. I'm going to be pulling from the Department of Labor's website as we go through this information. So what is the difference between an employee and an independent contractor in terms of the tax forms you fill out, what you can say, what you can do, rates of pay, managing all of those things, and how that changes the function and flow of your practice. We're also going to dig into the different types of employees. There's different types of employees. We've got full-time, we've got part-time, we've got pay per visit, we've got hourly, we've got salaried, we've got employees with benefits, we've got employees with no benefits, we've got employees that are eligible for overtime, that are exempt versus non-exempt. Tons of options out there. And not only are we going to break those down so you know what they are, but we're going to know the pros and cons of having those different types of individuals on your teams, and what the difference in cost is to you as a small business owner. We're going to dig through how to write an accurate job description and an accurate job posting. Okay, so why is this important, right? This will help you bring in candidates to your door that want to work for you, that understand what you're hiring for, so you don't hit the end of this lengthy application process, get somebody who you are in love with, that you want to bring on the team, and they go, ooh, I didn't realize I was going to have to work Saturdays once a month. I'm out. Okay, this is so when you are posting a position, it is put together. And that job description is really important because it defines what that person is going to be doing. And so when they question their responsibilities on the job, which can happen, you can pull that job description. We're going to talk about conducting interviews and what you can and cannot ask during the interview process, and general things that you maybe want to see during the interview process in order to find the ideal candidate. We're going to talk about what should be in an offer letter / employee contract, or what should be in an independent contractor agreement, okay? Also, going back to those job descriptions, did you know that you're not hiring a contractor, you're contracting a contractor, and independent contractors by nature are not really full or part-time? So we're going to clear that up. So make sure that that's really consistent in your independent contractor agreement. We're going to talk about how to train and orient new employees so they understand the job, and you're not 6 months in finding out that they never took data on something because you didn't spell it out for them. Because even if you have a new therapist on your team, not all internship sites are the same. Not all places of employment are the same. And you want to make sure you establish what is expected for your practice. We're going to talk about general information regarding payroll, general information regarding benefits, how you conduct quality assurance measures when you are not at every single case anymore. Oh my goodness, you're not handling all of your clients. You've delegated. That is wonderful. How do you know they're still getting high quality services and your name is represented accurately out in the field? We're going to talk about employee reviews and we're going to dig into disciplinary action and firing, which may not be the most fun thing, but you don't really want to get caught off guard with that information. We're also going to talk about how to effectively transition your clients, and so you don't lose clients as you transition them to a new clinician. And finally, we're going to tie everything up by talking about the code of ethics and how that relates back to expanding your team and having new people on your team. So I'm really excited, just to be digging through this information with everybody. And I'm super excited to know that there are music therapists out there that are growing their practices. Woohoo! That means you are expanding access to services, you are benefiting multiple people, and you are creating jobs out of thin air. That is absolutely amazing. So I'm really hoping that I will see you in this upcoming webinar, this CMTE series. We're 13 credits for a really, really low rate. And as a bonus, my handbook, which we're going to also talk about in this course, is how to write a handbook, but my handbook, when I brought it into my lawyer's office for the first time as a new business owner, getting ready to expand, he looked at me with his business partner and said, "Which lawyer wrote your handbook?" I wrote my handbook. I'm not a lawyer. He told me that my handbook would have cost over $15,000 for them to write because of how intensive and extensive it is. All right. Now, again, this course is not to replace any sort of, legal advice, but as a benefit of this course, if you sign up, if you're one of the first 5 people to sign up for this course, I am going to be offering a little bit of free business coaching. The first 5 people that sign up for this course can send me their employee handbook, and I will provide feedback on it at no additional cost. That is huge to be able to offer that. So I'm really, really excited to see, who's going to jump on board and who's going to let me be part of their journey with them. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact myself or Deborah Spiegel. Check out the courses on the Spiegel Academy. There's lots of great information there. And if you're not quite ready to grow your practice and you're just getting started, take a look at the course that I have called Starting Your Practice, and we'll chat. And if you need to get a hold of me, have questions about the course, please don't hesitate to send me an email. My email is Jonna, Jona, @infinitymusictherapy.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in class soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.